you haven't taken these chances all day long. There's a blitzer coming from the right. Charles Woodson, they see it. Look at the separation between Eric Turner and Billy Davis. One little simple move, and he's...
to the 1.5-yard line, and the Cowboys with 1st and goal. And now, timeout. You guys called it. Dallas takes its first timeout of the second half.
Look, here's Charles Woodson coming in on the blitz. It's to the open side of the quarterback. Eric Turner is covering Billy Davis. That is a lot of room to cover. Jason Garrett sees it. Eric Turner overruns it. And we had the big play. Again, they haven't taken a chance all day long like that. They do it, and this, well, in this part of the game, I don't understand why.
That's a no-brainer for Jason Garrett, right?
Well, usually that blitz comes from the backside where the quarterback cannot see it. From a right-handed quarterback's left side, you know, short side, easy for Jason Garrett to see.
So the clock is stopped with 5:53 to play here in the 4th quarter. You know, a huge break for the Dallas Cowboys.
You know, it's pretty impressive, though. Charles Woodson was the corner, came on the blitz. He made the tackle. So he knew he was in trouble. He got blocked. But as soon as that ball was thrown, he went chasing. He's going to at least make the Dallas Cowboys extend one more play to score the touchdown.
Darrell Johnston, Emmitt Smith behind Garrett on 1st and goal from the half-yard line. Emmitt, left side. Touchdown.
You know, Greg, I go back to that big play by the Cowboys. You're on the Raider sideline. They're just trying to make a play to end the game. That's what they're thinking. Emmitt Smith down inside the 10-yard line. Near the goal line, good job of blocking up front by the Dallas Cowboys. Nate Newton seeing the end zone, still on his guy, pushing him back.
Cunningham's kick is perfect. Emmitt Smith from 1/2 yard out after the 55-yard pass play. Jason Garrett to Billy Davis, and the Cowboys are right back in it.
That's right, and if you're the Oakland Raider offense, you've kind of been playing it so close to the vest this whole second half, it's hard to restart the engine. I mean, it's hard to make a play. The Dallas Cowboy defense feels confident, and you're on offense. You need something. You need not a trick play, but something maybe the Cowboys haven't seen. You need to get that first down.
What the Raiders would like right here to jumpstart them is a good return out of Desmond Howard. Good kick. Howard into the end zone, and he'll kneel it down.
In situations like this, the offense, you go trotting on the field, are really a good little gimmick that always was good to try in these situations. Try to draw the defense off sides. Get yourself in a 1st and 5 situation. Then you can run the football and a couple runs and still pick up the 5 yards and get that big first down.
4th quarter has not been the Oakland Raiders' point-producing quarters this season. You see the complete turnaround in total yards here in the second half. The Raiders have managed just 3 points in 4th quarter so far this season. George rolling, throws it away.
You know what we kind of see? Jeff George sacked 19 times coming into the game today. And we kind of see the effects of those sacks sometimes when he drops back. That was a good situation or a good example that time. He drops back, no pressure really on him, but he expects it. He's been hit, he's been sacked, so he just automatically drifts outside the pocket and really gives himself no chance to complete the pass down the field.
George has been sacked twice today. He's 11 of 18 for 165 yards and a touchdown. Hoffman, running room, close to the 25-yard line, a pickup of about 5. And Darren Woodson, who was in on the tackle, is slow to get off the turf. Ritchie comes out of the lineup, and now Harvey Williams goes in. Kaufman to the sideline. Four wide receivers for the Raiders on 3rd and 5. George over the middle, complete. Looks to be enough for the first down to Terry Mickens.
Well, that's a big play for the Oakland Raiders. Gets the clock underneath 5 minutes. Jeff George, the Raiders send 5 people at him. He looks for the safest spot to throw it. A quick slant into Terry Mickens, and good job of fighting for the ball and making the catch inside.
Mickens with his first reception of the day, and it gives Oakland the first down. Now at their own 31, clock continues to move. 4:15 to play. Kaufman. And the Dallas defense closes in a hurry. Dexter Coakley, number 52. Well, we talked to Dexter Coakley yesterday, and, you know, I couldn't talk for about 3 minutes after looking at the size of his arms.
Yeah, they're big.
Oh.
I mean, they're the most impressive arms I've ever seen on anybody in the National Football League. And he was drafted to about 5'9", 220, very fast, and has really been, I think, one of the key players in this Dallas defense.
He says those arms are inherited from his dad, who was a bricklayer. He said, no, I think you've done a little work on those yourself.
It looks like it.
2nd and 10. Hoffman out to about the 35. We'll call that a 4-yard pickup, and it'll be 3rd and 6. And now, see, the Cowboys stop the clock. Cowboys stop the clock with 3:25 to play here in the 4th, and that's Dallas's 2nd timeout here in the 2nd half. We'll remind you next Sunday on the NFL on CBS, many of you will see an AFC East shootout between Dan Marino's Dolphins and the high-octane offense of the New York Jets. In some areas, Drew Bledsoe and the Patriots take on the New Orleans Saints. The Chargers battle Indianapolis, or the Raiders visit Arizona. Check your local listings for the game in your area. And as always, it all begins at 12 noon Eastern Time with the hour-long NFL Today. With the usual suspects.
Yep. It's a good word for him, suspect.
What do you think of the way Brent was dressed today? Pretty
Hey,
good, huh?
he looked handsome. He looked really good. That's hard for Brent to do, too. Well, the Cowboys, they call the timeout, trying to preserve some times because they know the Raiders are going to run it and let that clock go down.
And now another big defensive play for the Cowboy defense. 3rd and 5 at the 35. George, quick one, incomplete. Tim Brown, the intended receiver.
Kevin Smith on the coverage, being aggressive, close to the receiver. Let's watch it outside. Tim Brown against Kevin Smith. Gets that right hand in there. A little contact, but still a good job by Kevin Smith playing the situation accordingly.
And now the spotlight again on Deion Sanders, back at about his 20-yard line. And they kick it away from him and out of bounds. And Deion will not have the chance for an NFL Today report. Let's go to Jim Nantz in New York. Jim.
All right, guys, up in Philadelphia, Donnell Bennett has scored for the 2nd time today for the Chiefs, backing them in. And just a moment ago, the Chiefs picked off Rodney Peete. 5 minutes to go, and the Chiefs are up 3. Back to you.
All right, Jim. Meanwhile, I guess they heard you a little earlier. You said, I don't know why you would kick it to Deion Sanders.
Well, you know, that's kind of like throwing at Deion Sanders. I mean, why would you want to test him? We know he's good. He's proven it many times. Let's go somewhere else and try to win or lose the game with better matchups.
We were talking to Jeff George yesterday. He said, I'm not stupid.
Yeah.
First down for the Cowboys. They have 3 minutes, 15 seconds on the clock. Garrett to throw. Over the middle, complete to Darrell Johnson. Out to about the 25-yard line, a pickup of 5 on the play.
Yeah, 3 minutes to go. You still have 1 timeout. Everything is in play. I think the main thing for the Dallas Cowboy offense, just take your time, try to make positive plays. No big penalty, and of course, don't get sacked are the 2 biggest things that could put you in tough situations.
Johnson out of the backfield. Dragged down from behind. Doesn't look like a gain of anything. James Folston was tackled.
Well, when you talk about the Raider defense, I think they did have one bad situation when they gave up that long pass completion, but I've had a chance. This is the 4th game. I think I've seen all their games. The one thing about this defense, it plays with emotion. They're playing smart. They just play so hard, and I think most of it goes to Willie Shaw, the defensive coordinator.
Deion Sanders in as a receiver at the bottom of the screen on 3rd and 4. Garrett goes the other way, has his man. First down, across the 40 to about the 43-yard line. Michael Irvin. First down, Dallas Cowboys. And the clock is stopped for the 2-minute warning with 1:55 to play. Cowboys looking for a tying field goal.
Blitz, Michael Irvin just going to go down, hook up, watch Michael Irvin. Hey, wide open. Jason Garrett sees him. The one thing Chan Gailey has brought to this offense is they know how to handle blitzing situations and the teams that like the blitz.
First down, Cowboys with 1 timeout remaining. Garrett, this side. And Eric Allen coming up fast on the pass intended for Billy Davis.
That is a dangerous, dangerous throw outside to Eric Allen's side. We saw how long the ball stayed in the air. Again, look at him. He's way back. He's watching the quarterback. And if that ball is down, Eric Allen is gone the other way.
You said it earlier. That man has played a heck of a football game today.
Yes, he has.
2nd and 10, 1:50 on the clock. Deion Sanders wide to the top of your screen. This side complete. Ernie Mills with the catch just shy of midfield.
Pretty impressive what the Cowboys are doing. You know it's a passing situation, but the offensive line has given Jason Garrett time to throw on every single pass so far in this drive. Well, the Raiders have been taking chances on 3rd down. It has not paid off for them.
Sanders to the bottom of the screen. 3rd and 5. Movement prior to the snap. And this will back the Cowboys up.
Ball start, number 73, offense. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
That's Larry Allen.
Well, they had a bunch of people moving. I don't know what happened. Sometimes, I'm not sure, but sometimes, you know, the quarterback forgets the snap count, and you're back there, they're going, was it on 1 or 2? And you go, hut, you wait to see what happens. And that's what it looked like that time. The whole team of the Dallas Cowboys just not in sync.
3rd and 10. Garrett with time, far side, has a man complete. That's Billy Davis with first down yardage. 14-yard pickup.
Plenty of time to throw for the quarterback. Nobody gets around the feet or in the vision of Jason Garrett. He looks outside. Billy Davis standing on the sideline, nobody around him. And that's because Michael Irvin was on the inside. He went up the field. The defenders were looking at him. Nobody paid attention to Billy Davis on the outside of the field.
First down from the Oakland 43. Garrett wants it all down the middle. Intercepted by Eric Turner.
Well, let's take a look at Jason Garrett throwing the ball here. I can't see what he sees to think that there's somebody open down the field. Watch Eric Turner. Here's the receiver, just goes down. Billy Davis, and there is no way to think that he is going to be open. In fact, I'm sorry, Billy Davis on the outside, but Jason Garrett must have thought the safety came inside. He came down because he never sees Eric Turner. And what a good job by Eric Turner, seeing the ball in the air, turning, adjusting, and then making the catch.
Eric Turner returned the Bubby Brister interception for a touchdown last week. The week before against the Giants, he intercepted Danny Cannell to secure a victory over New York. And he may well have secured an Oakland Raiders victory here with that pick at the goal line.
Well, he has really had a super year so far, playing with enthusiasm. Kind of the leader of the defense. And Greg, you said it, 3 big plays so far this year that have helped this team win 2 games and gave them a chance to win the other.
The Cowboys burn their final timeout and stop the clock with 1:28 to play here in the 4th quarter.
Well, the Raiders, we said it, you talk about it, they've turned the tables today. They let the other team make the mistake. They didn't try to force the issue, and by not doing that, they were able to wait, and the Dallas Cowboys made mistakes. Look at the schedule for the Oakland Raiders. Arizona, at Arizona, San Diego. They think they got a chance to win a few football games, and the way they play today with the discipline and how hard they play, you'd like to think they could.
Several of them told us yesterday if they could grab a win here today, it's not unlikely that they could go into their bye date at 4-2.
Well, a lot of people predicted by the time September was over, the Raiders would be 0-4 with the 4 teams they played. But 2-2 with the schedule they played, I think that's a pretty impressive start for the Raiders.
Hey, it has represented a terrific turnaround in their style of play. They've only been penalized 3 times today. They have made no turnovers, and Jeff George has been sacked only twice, which is miles from the way he's had to play the game the first 3 games of the season.
Yeah, Greg, you said it, it's a contrast to everything that they've done in the first 3 games. They corrected so many problems, and you know, you can't do it overnight. We were there last week. They were working on it. The penalties, play harder, these kind of things. We talked to John Gruden. He said we're trying to correct them. They worked on it in practice, and you're starting to see some of those results.
John Gruden also said we want to come out and run the football. They have 144 yards on the ground here this afternoon.
And that takes patience. It takes an offensive coordinator and a coach, John Gruden, to stand over there and call some running plays when you're looking up at 2nd and 10, 2nd and 9. And a few times we saw him run the ball on third downs today, too.
And make no mistake about it, these Cowboys come off of a real high with the way they performed against the Giants on Monday night up in the New York area.
Well, for good reason. They played pretty well, too. They let the Giants make all the mistakes. They took advantage of them. The Cowboys playing pretty good. Had their opportunities today. Couldn't make the big plays on offense to get those scores in the end zone.
Raiders are going to take a delay of game penalty as they let the clock wind down to 6 seconds remaining. And now Leo Aragus will come on to kick it away.
Well, if you're the Raiders, you're not relaxed yet. You still got to get this punt off, figure out where to kick it. You've got to get a good punt off because the Cowboys could get it inside here. You can kick a long field goal.
What do you think happens to Leo Aragus if he kicks this to Deion Sanders?
You better make the tackle.
That's right. Deion back at his own 43. Leo going to run and take the safety. But there's a penalty marker on the play.
Now that was a smart play. Really well thought out by John Gruden. That is a smart play. No block punt. No Deion Sanders return. Just mad I didn't think about it. Now, if you're the Cowboys, you must decline the penalty. If you don't decline it, the game will be over. At least if you decline it, they have to kick it one more time.
Offense, that penalty is declined. It's a safety.
So put 2 points on the board. It's the Raiders with a 1-point lead now at 13-12.
Now what do you do if you're the Raiders? You don't kick it off. I think you squib kick it to the front of the line of the Oakland Raiders, of the Dallas Cowboys, and hope they fall on. You run down and fall on, the game is over.
I would kick it to the Roadrunner before I'd kick it to Deion Sanders. I think Deion's walking onto the field knowing that if it comes to him, it's going to be a mistake. He had his moments here this afternoon.
Well, he did. You know, the one thing that I was probably a little surprised by when you just look at Deion Sanders, they never looked towards him to throw the football. And a couple times, the Raiders taking a timeout to discuss what they're going to do here and make sure everybody's on the same page so you don't make a mistake.
Remember, not so long ago, the Cowboys missed a golden opportunity when Richie Cunningham missed from about 37 yards out. Michael Irvin, Chan Gailey, and the Cowboys thought that they were going to be a little better than this today.
Yes, he did. But, you know, you talk about that missed field goal, but the Cowboys still had opportunities to overcome it. So when I look back, I don't see it as the big play. You know, they still had their chances. Even though they missed that field goal with a couple more possessions to get things done, they just didn't do it.
A fair catch of this punt would allow the Dallas Cowboys a free kick. But it's going to come down.
If it ever happens.
But it's going to come down just a little deep for a field goal attempt. Or it may not even get there at all.
Yeah, I don't know. These are situations you really got to work on in practice. I think I would have dribbled it with my kickoff team in there and made the front line fall on it.
Line drive kick. Flips it to Deion. 45. Flipped it back, and here we go. Sanders. Penalty markers are down, incidentally, and now the Raiders have picked it off. And that's Terry Mickens with the football, and let's check the penalty. Shades of the California Golden Bear.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
We were just missing the band on the field.
Number 59, receiving team. Penalties declined. The game is over. Offensive foul.
So the penalty goes against the Dallas Cowboys. The Oakland Raiders come in here and walk away with a 1-point victory. And you know, John Gruden, we talked all week long about the Raiders. In fact, the last couple of weeks, how the Raiders have bought into his way of doing things. The only thing is, you have to see it pay off on the field.
Well, that's right. Teams always need a little positive reinforcement of what the coaches tell them. They got it today.
For Phil Simms and Armin Katsayan, I'm Greg Gumbel. That's it from Dallas. Once again, our final score, the Raiders 13 and the Cowboys 12. Stay tuned. We'll be sending you off to New York for the NFL Today.